Hello, welcome back to King's Academy. This is Silent Shows. This is our brand new video lessons for common English phrases. This is series 3. I hope you have really enjoyed the other two series, and in fact all our spoken English videos. You can get all the video lessons from our app from Play Store. Please download our app, and lots of videos are being uploaded. That's mainly for spoken English students, IELTS and OET students. We have uploaded a lot of lessons for active voice, passive voice, and common English phrases, and popular idioms are on the way. So a lot of lessons are coming up. Right, let's look into what we have today. So today I'm going to teach you some more common English phrases. What is phrases actually? They are common popular combinations or word combinations which are popularly used for daily usages. So what do we have today? Let's look into that. Come on. Right. So lesson 1, phrases for remembering something. Well, sometimes we may forget when we speak with someone. It might be very difficult for us to recollect what happened in the past. In that case, how to express in English? That's what I'm going to tell you in this lesson. Well, when someone asking you, do you remember that? Do you remember me? So maybe if you don't really remember, in English, very politely we say, well, if I remember correctly, we met you in London. Yeah. Or, as far as I can recall, we met last year. We met in 2018 in Mumbai. Or in other way we can express this is, if my memory doesn't fail. That's a very quite popular formal expression. You can use it. Or we can say, if my memory serves me right, I met you in 2016 in New Delhi. Yes. I have a vague recollection of what happened actually. So you can put whatever you want. I have a vague recollection of, yeah, that incident happened in 2015. Well, I'm not really sure of that. Other way, maybe you can say, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it. I just forgot it. Or, I'm trying to recollect, but I can't quite remember it. That's where we can say it's very, very popular expression. Maybe if you don't remember anything, you can say, my mind went blank actually, literally, I can't remember anything. I'm sorry about that. Or if you don't remember anything at all, what would you say? It doesn't ring a bell. That means, I'm sorry, I can't recollect it. I'm sorry about it. Or else we can say, it doesn't sound familiar. Okay? So next time, when you want to say something you remember or you don't remember, you can use these expressions, right? So let's move on to the next lesson. What do we have? Right. Phrases for shopping. These are quite familiar. I think this is one of the most useful phrases in our daily conversations. If you go to an English speaking country or in India itself, we use it quite a lot of time, these popular phrases for shopping. Right, let's see the first one. I would like to see if you have a t-shirt, right? I would like to see if you have a section for t-shirts, maybe. Or I would like to see if you have jeans. Well, otherwise, where can I find shirts? Where can I find chappals? Where can I find shoes? Or if you're just moving around, you don't want to buy anything seriously, maybe you can say, I'm just browsing. Means you're just looking casually. You don't want to buy anything. You don't mean it actually. Or else you can say, I'm looking for a pair of shoes. Okay, I'm looking for a pair of shoes. If you want to ask the price of the products you're looking for, you can say, how much is this? Okay, how much does it cost? That's also another way we can ask, how much is this? Or how much does it cost? Or is this on sale? And if you want to try it on, you want to check the size, people would say what? Can I try it on? Can I try it on? Can I try it on? And if you love it, if you want to take it, you can say what? I will take it. I'll take it. I want to buy it. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Or if you want to pay by cash or card, how do you say that? Do you take credit cards or do you take cash or card? I would like to return or exchange it. If you want to exchange this, if you are not sure of this, if you bought something and it doesn't fit you very well, if you're going to come back to the shop, go back to the shop and you want to change it, I would like to return these products. I am looking for something different. Okay, so these are the popular phrases you can use for shopping. Now let's turn to the lesson 3. Saying about age. This is a very interesting group of phrases. We use these phrases when we talk about someone's age. When we would say, oh, she's very young, she's in her 20s, 30s. So that's a kind of expressions we use in English. So let's learn some of them. She's in her early 20s. She's in her late 60s or 70s. Well, he's in his late 30s. She just turned 6. Okay, so if a child is just past 6, so we would say what? She just turned 6. And this is a very popular expression. Look at that. Act your age. Yeah, act your age. Right. Right. Well, act your age means if you are a person and you don't seem to be really mature enough according to the age, and people would say act your age, which means you need to rise to the situation and you got to behave according to your age. You got to be pretty much mature. That's what it does. It means act your age. And I'm not as young as I used to be. If you want to say that I'm not so healthy, I'm not so I'm not so healthy and fit as I used to be, which means you're getting older. And if you want to say that I'm not as young as I used to be, if you're getting older, you might want to say that. Well, but if you want to say that no, I'm not getting older, I'm very fit and healthy as I used to be, yeah, then you would say what? I'm not over the hill yet. Yeah, older people would definitely say that. I'm not over the hill yet. Dad, don't play with me. I'm not over the hill yet, which means I'm still young. And sometimes if you want to say a person, for example, a child, it's not so childish, he's pretty young and pretty mature. So what we would say, he's no spring chicken, which means he's not so childish, he's not a child, he's no spring chicken. So the other one, she's wise beyond her years. If a person is really mature and wise and really competent, really wise, more than what she's supposed to be according to her age, so we would say what? She's wise beyond her years. She's wise beyond her years, which means she's really wise and really smart in comparison to what she's supposed to be in her age. So that's what these are the popular expressions we use in connection to age. Okay, so let's turn to other lesson. Yeah, lesson 4, saying about eating food. Let me tell you, this is very useful and popular. We use every time, every day in our English life. Well, the first one, if you are really hungry and if you want to say that you're hungry, there are different ways we can say it, and Let's see that. Yeah. So I'm very hungry. I'm starving. Yeah. So let's grab a bite to eat. So which means you're really hungry. You want to eat something. You are cute to eat something. You really want it. So let's grab a bite to eat, which means we are really hungry. You want to eat something very, very badly. And the other way, checking someone whether he is interested to eat out with you. So how would you ask that? How about eating out tonight? Which means, shall we go out to have a dinner tonight? Okay, yeah, shall we eat out? So how about eating out tonight? The next one, I brought some snacks. Would you like to try? I bought some snacks. Would you like to try? So that is also another way of checking other person whether they are interested in eating with you, or if you want to offer some food to a person, definitely you can use these expressions. Let's learn one more. Could I have another helping of chicken? So that's another way. Sometimes people, they don't usually use it, but this is also very popular in English world. Another helping, which means suppose you are eating in restaurants and you are really impressed with the portion or the chicken or the beef or the meat or whatever the food you are really you're eating, you are really impressed and you want to have it one more. Okay, so which means, could I have another helping of that chicken roast? Okay, another helping. The next one, I would like to have a piece of pizza, right? So this is also another way we can ask for a little bit more food. So I would like to have a piece of pizza. I would like to have another burger. And I will have a coffee. I'll have a tea. Okay? Yeah. So, and once you eaten and you want to get the bill, check it. So how would you ask for the bill? Could we get the check, please? Can I get the check, please? Can I get the bill, please? All right. Can I ring for the bill, please? All right. And if you are completely full, so how would you say that? I'm full. But there's another very British way is I'm stuffed. I'm stuffed. I'm stuffed means I'm very, very full. I had a lot. I can't take even a bit anymore. I'm really stuffed. Okay? Right. Let's move on to the fifth lesson. Let's see what we have. Well, shopping. Right. Couple of lessons before I gave you very important few common phrases for shopping. This is different expressions. We may talk about products. Okay. If you want to talk about prices and products, you can use these expressions as well. Well, when you buy something and it's really pricey and expensive, there is a popular way we express it in English. It cost a fortune. Okay, it cost a fortune. And there is another idiom. It cost an arm and leg. It cost an arm and a leg. So you might say, yesterday I went to the supermarket and I bought a jean. It really cost an arm and a leg, or it cost a fortune. It means it's very expensive, really pricey. Okay, or that's a ripoff, which means it's way beyond your imagination and it's really expensive, which means it's not really reasonable to pay such an extent. That's why that's a ripoff, which means you can't pay such an exorbitant level of price, which is way beyond realistic cost. Right. I can't afford it, which means the price which is really unaffordable and you don't want to pay for that. You might say, I can't afford it, right? Or which means I don't have enough money to buy it. That means I can't afford it. I'm sorry, it's really a ripoff. I can't afford it, right? Good. And there's another way. If you want to say that something is really expensive, that's a bit pricey, which means what? I can't afford it. It's really a ripoff. I don't want to buy it. Can't afford it. That's a bit pricey. That's a bit pricey, right? Well, and the other way, that's quite reasonable if it is really possible, and affordable and reasonable, you can say, well, that's quite reasonable, I will pay that, right? Get me that one. Yeah, $100, that's really reasonable, I'm ready, I will buy it. Okay, there is another way of using some expressions if you want to talk about the offers and discounts. It's 20% off, there is a 20% discount, that's a good deal, that's a real bargain. It was a real bargain, okay, so which means it was a very fantastic deal, and you strike it and you got it. Okay, so that was a really bargain, it was a really good deal, which means you got things at a very cheap, reasonable price, and you are so happy about it, you can say that was a real bargain, it was a lucky bargain. Right, the last one I want to tell you, if something is really extremely cheap, so you might say, well, it was a dirt cheap, it was a dirt cheap, it's a dirt cheap, it's extremely inexpensive, it's extremely inexpensive. So these are the popular expressions, popular usages we might use in English for shopping. Right, let's move on to the next lesson. Right, phrases for speaking about weather. Well, this is very, very important, guys, especially if you are an IELTS student. Most of the time the examiners will ask you, what is the weather like in your hometown? All right, so and also if you're going to an English country, definitely, you know, these are the kind of usages people might say and ask you. Let's see how we speak about weather. Right, well, if you have a really bright, wonderful climate and you love to enjoy, you need to go out, how do you say that? It's nice and warm today, it's really bright, it's really sunny. Okay, it's absolutely boiling. What do you mean by that? It means really sweltering, extremely hot. Sometimes in India we experience that, especially in the summer season, like March and April, May, we have this climate boiling, which means it's really sweltering, scorching, which means what? Really hot, extremely hot. And if it's really hot, we have a lot of other ways to express that. We are having a real heat wave. That's also another way if it's really hot. It's real heat wave. We're having a real heat wave. The sun's really strong today. That means it's really, really hot. We experience a really warm temperature. We're having a real heat wave. The sun's really strong today. Okay, and the other way, it's hot and humid. It's hot and humid. And if you're going to Canada, you might say what? It's a little chilly in UK. We know that sometimes it's 1, 2 degree, 3 degree, very rarely, hardly it goes minus. So it's a little chilly climate today. It's freezing, which means you are really cold. It's really freezing, yeah, which means it's 4 degree, 5 degree. Yeah, you tend to shiver, and you might say what? You can say it's freezing, right? And if the temperature is coming down, coming lower, then you would say the temperature is dropping, coming down. And if you're expecting a very good winter, which means the winter is coming up, it's nearing, approaching, November and December, what you would say? We are expecting some winter weather. Of course, in India, it's December, we're going to have very good winter. Yeah, God wills. We're expecting some winter weather this month. It's very sunny and bright. It's really bright and sunny. It's really a clear day. So we have a clear sky today. So we can say it's very sunny and bright. Sunny means very shining, clear weather. Okay, right. So these are very useful. Learn it, use it. Lesson 7: phrases for speaking about rain. So in the previous lesson, I taught you about how to speak about weather, and this lesson, it's really important how to speak about weather. Raining. There are different ways, depends on the nature of the rain. We use different expressions. If it's a very mild rain, I mean raining lightly, we would say it's drizzling. Drizzling means a mild light rain. Or if it's a heavy rain, we call it pouring. All right, it's pouring rain today. I got wet, actually raining heavily. Or if it's a heavy rain, in the sense it's a heavy downpour, it's raining cats and dogs. It's an idiom in English. Raining cats and dogs means it's a heavy, dangerous downpour. Okay, so if you get wet in the rain, there are a lot of expressions. I got caught in a downpour, which means you got, this is something I've given you some picture here, right? I got wet in a downpour, which means you are completely soaked in a heavy rain. And if you're completely soaked and drenched, which means you're completely wet. So we can say I got wet to the skin, or I got soaked to the skin, which means you're completely drenched, completely wet. Okay, I got soaked to the skin. And if the rain is coming down, I mean it's getting down, decreased, then you can say I think the rain is letting up, which means getting lighter and stopping. The rain is coming down. So I think the rain is letting up. So these are the very, very useful and popular expressions of speaking about rain. Now let's learn about few phrases. Learn some phrases about being tired. If you are very tired, how would you use your English language? You can say, I'm really tired, I'm spent, I'm beat, don't disturb me, I'm exhausted. If you're coming from a 12-hour shift and you're really, really spent, you're completely exhausted, you would say, I'm beat, I want to get the bed. I'm running on fumes, which means you're completely exhausted. I'm running on empty, which means you're completely drained off all your energy and you're completely beat. Then you say what? I'm running on fumes. Don't disturb me, right? And if you're studying for hours and you're very tired, and you would say what? I can hardly keep my eyes open. I'm just sleeping, very sleepy. I can't hardly keep my eyes open. I can hardly keep my eyes open. And if you're completely exhausted, you want to go to the bed, I'm off to bed, right? I'm off to bed. I'm gonna hit the sack. This is really, really interesting. It's a very popular expression in English. I'm gonna hit the sack means you're completely tired, exhausted, and running on fumes. You want to hit the bed, or you want to hit the sack. Hit the sack means you're simply literally tired and you want to go to bed. That means hit the sack. So I'm gonna hit the sack. That's a very, very popular expression in English. It's bedtime for me. Bye bye, good night, see you tomorrow. Yes. So now let's move on to lesson 9. Lesson 9, being late. Don't ever be late when you go there, okay? I don't like students coming to my class late, okay? Yes, sorry, I'm late. So when you're late, say it politely. Sorry, I'm late. And maybe you could say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late. I overslept. I missed my bus. Okay? Give the reasons. My alarm didn't go, which means your alarm didn't work very well and that cheated you and you slept nicely. So my alarm didn't go off. I had to wait ages for a bus. That means you spent a lot of time on the bus stop and you didn't get the bus. You would say what? I had to wait ages for a bus, or I missed my bus. The bus was late. These are the typical reasons you can say when you are late. Or if you what happened, and if you are really were held up in the traffic, and you could say the traffic was terrible. The traffic was terrible. I couldn't find a parking spot. So you came exactly on time, but what happened actually, you couldn't get a parking spot and you were running here and there for finding a parking space and you missed a lot of time. So you can say what? I couldn't find a parking spot, right? Yeah, I got lost coming here. If you on the way, you missed the route, you missed the spot, and you got lost in between, and you waste a lot of time. So you can say what? I got lost coming here. Actually, I lost my way. I got lost coming here. I wasn't sure about the road here, and I got lost coming here, right? Otherwise, if you're really busy, tied up with some other appointment, and you got lost your timing, and you lost your timing, a tracking of your time. So in that sense, you can say, well, I was tied up in a meeting. I was tied up in a meeting. Okay, I was tied up in a meeting. I was really occupied. Okay, I was pretty impossible. It was really impossible to escape from that meeting. I was tied up, and I was pretty occupied with some other appointment, and I was tied up in a meeting. So I really I'm sorry about it. I wasted a lot of time. I was really tied up in a meeting. It was impossible to escape, and I'm sorry about it. That's the reason I'm late now. Okay, otherwise, if you simply lost your timing and your planning, maybe you can say, what, I just lost track of time, which means I didn't notice what time it was. So because of your ignorance, you waste a lot of time and you became very late. So I just lost track of time. So that's how we explain when you are late. Okay, good. So last lesson. Okay, when someone is wrong or right. This is very beautiful and really useful, because when you are speaking with a person, and what if he's right, we might affirm, support that person, we might agree with that person. But what if he's wrong? Politely and decently, with a lot of respect, we may have to disagree with that person. So let's see how we would say that. How do we say that? Well, let's see that. I'm afraid that's not quite right, which means if your friend or a person you are talking to is quite wrong, and if you are really sure about that, so you can express your dissatisfaction or disagreement. How? I'm afraid, I'm sorry, that's not quite right, I'm sorry about it. Okay, yeah, you're sorry. Okay, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Oh dude, I'm afraid you're mistaken, that's not right what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. So the other way, no, I'm sorry, you got it wrong actually. Okay, this is actually, all right. Okay, this is actually right. Okay, right. Okay, fine. Right, good. So no, you got it wrong actually, right? So and if everything what your friend is saying is wrong, and you might have to disagree completely, so you can say, no, that's all wrong, sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry about that, that's all wrong. Okay, I beg to differ. So that's how we have to disagree with the person very politely and respectfully. Now let's see, how do we agree on a person, agree with a person? That's right, yeah, that's right. So which means someone is telling something and you want to agree with that, and you can say, what, that's right, absolutely, I agree with that point. Yeah, that's spot on, which means you really agree on that. That means the person, what that person said is right, absolutely. And you can also say in a different way, you hit the nail on the head, which means you hit the nail on its head. Okay, you have hit the nail on the head, which means you spoke correctly. Okay, you have expressed the right thing. And if you want to agree, I suppose so, yeah. Okay, I suppose so, which means you are you're tending to support that, not absolutely, but you're tending to agree with that friends or the point of view what the friend has proposed. And I'm afraid you are right, which means if someone has said something and what you really going to say is that it is absolutely right, and but if you want to say it in a polite way, otherwise that person might be afraid of the truth. Okay, so you can say what? I'm afraid you are right, right? Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. If your friend is asking when is the deadline of the submission of the assignment, is it tomorrow? Then if you want to say I'm afraid it's right tomorrow. Okay, I'm afraid you are right. So absolutely you're right, I appreciate that. Okay, so if someone is telling something and if you want to agree completely, so how would you say it? Absolutely mate, you're right, I appreciate it. Right, so I think by that we come to the end of this lesson video tutorial. This is series 3, and wait for other lesson. There are a lot of lessons coming up, and lessons of idioms and lessons for IELTS speaking and writing, letters, task 1, graph. A lot of lessons are coming up. Okay, you can also reach me in my WhatsApp. The numbers are there, and you can reach me on my Facebook. Download our app for whole free spoken English lessons, and you can also reach me on my website. So until then, bye bye, God bless you.